Welcome to the Texas Heart Institute Library and Learning Resource Center video tutorial on PowerPoint, Shapes and Animation. We're going to add some shapes and animation to the slides that we created in the last video. We have a table and a chart, and I'm going to do one quick thing right here first to get rid of some of this extra non-data ink. Under Table Design, I can come to Shading, and there's something called No Fill, which means that there's something behind it. Whatever the background behind, that is what's going to show through here. So we have this table of data, and when you present it to your audience, you're going to want to help them focus on the data that you're going to talk about. One way to do that is using a shape or some animation. So I'm going to hit Insert here, and there's something called Shapes. And if you click there, you see some different kinds of shapes. I'm going to pick a rectangle here, just this first one. And I want to highlight this line, right ventricular failure, because it has the smallest p-value. And if I draw a box around it, so I've just selected the rectangle, click in the top left, drag to the bottom right here, and let go. And you'll see that I have a rectangle now. And it is selected, and you can tell that because it has these white handles on it. And that means that the Shape Format tab is the active tab. So from here, we can pick things to do with that box. So we can decide to have no fill, which means that our data, because it's behind, will show through because there's no fill blocking it. And our outline, we can change it to a brighter color to make it stand out, so say like a red. Also under outline, you can pick some different weight of that line to make it a little bit bolder. So here we have our box, and maybe during our presentation we're going to talk about more than just this data point. So what you can do to create an identical shape is hit Control and D on your keyboard, and that duplicates that exact shape. And you'll see it is now selected here. To move a shape, I can click on it on the edge of it when I have this four-way arrow, and I can drag where I want it. And you can see that it will automatically show you when it's lined up. If you want to budge it just a little bit, you can use your arrow keys on your keyboard. So let's do that one more time. Control D to duplicate. And then we can move that to another location, and we can line it up by using those bars. Or if I were to get it off a little bit, if I want these three boxes to be aligned, I hold down my Shift key and select all three of those boxes. So they all now have the little white handles highlighted. And then here I can come to that shape format area, the arrange group, and here I can align them. So I can align all of the left sides of those boxes, and now they're exactly aligned. So if you ever get anything that's out of alignment, you can come to the alignment area and fix that. All right, so now I have my three boxes, and this is how it would appear when I give my presentation. But if I want those boxes to appear as I'm talking, I need to add animation. And to do that, I come up to the top here where it says Animations, click on that tab, and then I need to choose the item, the object that I'm going to animate. So if I click on this first box here, then I can click on Animations in Animation Pane, and that pane will come up here. I can add an animation from here, or I can add it from here. The entrance effects are exactly that. They have to do with the entrance of that object. Emphasis and exit and motion pass. So these are your different kinds of animation that you can do on objects. I'm going to use an appear on this first one. And you can see that the box is not there. I click, and there it is. It appears during the presentation. And you can see here's that first box. So let's try a couple different ones. So if I click on this second box that I want to have appear second, let's see, maybe we'll try a fade on this one. And if you click, you see it come up here as rectangle 6. And here are some options. It starts on click, so it's going to wait for me to click during my presentation. And here are the other options. You can have it start with previous or after previous. So you can link different things and make a cascade this way. I'm going to make it wait until I'm ready by having start on click. And when it has this kind of square progress bar here, that means that there are some timing options that we can look at. So under effect options, under timing, it's going to go on click. And if we want to slow it down a little bit, we can pick the duration to be slow. You have some different options built in here. And then I hit OK, and you'll see that it kind of slowly goes in. So if we try that one more time, you can see it slowly appearing. One more, if I go to that third box and choose a different effect, let's do a fly in. You can see that it flies in from the bottom, but again, we have the option here with this menu here. Go to effect options. We can change it to be from the right, and we can go to our timing and we can slow that down as well. So now you can see it coming in over time. And the length of these bars has to do with the length of time that your animation is going to be on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and click on slideshow here to show you what it looks like. So here's the slide as it appears when I first go to it during my presentation. I click or use the right arrow button or the down arrow button to go to the next thing. And there it is. I had the appear for the first one. And then I'm ready to talk about the second one. Here it has that fade. And then the third one, I'm ready to talk about it now. So I click one more time and the box comes in from the right. So I wouldn't use all 3 effects in the same slide, but I just wanted to demonstrate them to you. I would pick your favorite one and make them all that effect. So you can come here and you can edit that, edit the effect type from here. And you can also reorder your effects. Another thing you can do is animate a chart. So I'm going to click on this chart that we had, and I'm going to select the chart as the object that I want to animate. And then from here, I'm going to add an animation. And the one that works best for charts is a wipe. Now, this is not what I really wanted to have happen. You can see the preview is just, it wipes across. So we're going to want to go into those effect options. We're going to want to draw from the left, because that makes more sense, drawing the data from the left. Our timing, we can make it go a little bit slower, draw it in so we can be talking while it's drawing. And then we have this important tab here for chart animation. So this is unique to a chart. Right now, it's animating it in all as one, but what we want is to actually just draw the data series. So we click on by series here, and then we uncheck start animation by drawing the chart background. That means we'll start with the background and then the data will draw it in. I hit OK, so this is what it's going to look like during the presentation. So now if I go and show you the presentation, I can be blah, 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 talking along. I click and the data will draw in. And then I'm ready for my next slide. So those are some fun things you can do with animation. Another thing that you can do with your icons and your shapes. So remember, this was the table from the paper that we used to make that first table, but there's also this kind of fun figure here. And maybe we want to create something similar to that in our presentation. You can do that pretty simply with the icons that they have available. So under Insert, they have shapes, which we were using, but they also now have icons. And you can type in a word, and you can pick out one of the icons that match what you're looking for. They have a whole range of nice little icons that you can use, and this is all that this is. I'm going to close the animation pane. When I'm clicked on an object, it has a graphics format tab that comes up, and I can change the coloring of each of those objects, the outline of the object, and some of the effects. The other thing that I can look at right here is called the Selection Pane, and this becomes helpful when you have a large number of individual objects that you've layered together. So here I have a graphic that I've selected here, and it tells me that that's graphic number 9, and I can take that and I can move it up or down so that it's on top of other items or below other items as they're layered. All of these things can be resized and cropped just like any other graphic can be. And then you also have grouping options and alignment options that you do for other ones. So I hope this has been like a good quick intro on some fun things you can do with shapes and animation. And be sure to ask us if you have any questions. Thank you.